In this video, I explain how to determine the wire gauge of M24643 series cables. The need for this clarification comes from the fact that different specifications determine AWG in different ways. In one specification, wire gauge is defined using one method, while in another, it is defined completely differently. In this presentation, I compare two distinctly different approaches used in these specification sheets to indicate wire gauge, helping you understand how to interpret each correctly. The two specifications we'll be looking at are MIL-DTL-2464331E and MIL-DTL-4643/43E. Let's start with 31E. When we scroll down to construction section, the very first line states, copper conductor, uncoated, ASTM B286, AWG size number 22, 7 strands. ASTM stands for the American Society for Testing of Materials, and ASTM B286 is a standard that defines a requirement for uncoated, stranded copper conductors. This line also tells us that every cable variant in the specification uses the same conductor construction, that is 22 AWG, 7 strand bare copper, regardless of the number of pairs. Next, when we look at Table 1, we see a column labeled size. In this specification, the size number corresponds directly to the number of twisted pairs in the cable. Since the size value and the number of pairs value match in every row, the size designation simply acts as shorthand for the cable's pair count. Now let's look at the MIL-DTL-24643/43E cable specification sheet and see how it defines AWG versus size. Under the construction section, the first line states, copper conductor, tin-coated, ASTM B286, AWG size is 14 and smaller. Uncoated for AWG size is 12. Class B stranding, ASTM B8 and larger. This line tells us only how the conductor must be constructed, not which wire gauge is used for a specific 43E cable size. Specifically, it means that if the individual conductors inside the cable are AWG 14 or smaller, they must be tin-coated and manufactured to ASTM B286. If the conductors are AWG 12 or larger, they must be uncoated with Class B stranding per ASTM B8. What this line does not tell you is the actual AWG used for a given 43E size designation. That information is found in Table 1. Before looking at conductor sizes, notice the footnote at the bottom of Table 1, which states, size designation does not correlate to conductor size for all types and sizes. This is critical to understand. The size column is a military part size designation used for ordering, configuration control, and cataloging. It is not a physical parameter, and it is not the wire gauge. In other words, the size column does not represent AWG. To find the actual wire gauge, you must look under the appropriate ASTM column in Table 1. Under the ASTM B286 column, conductor size is shown using two numbers. The first number is the AWG, and the second number is the strand count. For example, a MIL-DTL-246434304 cable uses 16 AWG conductors, and each conductor is made up of 19 individual strands, shown as 1619 in the table. AWG is also specified under the ASTM B8 column. In this case, the table lists the wire gauge, followed by Class B, rather than a strand count. For example, a MIL-DTL-24643/43060 cable uses 12 AWG conductors with Class B stranding, which has a fixed, standardized construction, typically 19 strands for 12 AWG. To wrap this up, the most important point to remember is that there is no single, universal way that wire gauge is defined across the M24643 family of specifications. Never assume that size means the same thing across different specifications. Always read the construction section, always check the table notes, and always confirm conductor size directly from the ASTM callouts.